Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a seriously impressive, highly structured blueprint for mastering Linux in the fast-paced world of cybersecurity. You know, in this field it's so easy to get completely lost. People try to learn 100 different tools at once without ever actually understanding how any of them work under the hood. So finding a meticulously structured curriculum like this, it's incredibly rare. What we're looking at today is a comprehensive professional roadmap designed to take you from absolute square one all the way to becoming a highly capable security professional. It cuts right through all that noise to focus purely on foundational mastery and real-world execution.
Now, the true value of this curriculum really comes down to the sheer weight of the expertise behind it. This isn't just some theoretical fluff thrown together by someone who read a textbook and decided to start teaching. No way. The source material outlines a curriculum architected by an industry veteran with 2 whole decades of hands-on experience. We're talking about someone who's literally been in the trenches as an ethical hacker, a penetration tester, a cloud security architect, and a malware analyst. And what's so brilliant about that specific combo of roles is how they all interconnect. Like, if you understand exactly how malware hides itself in a file system, it makes you a way sharper penetration tester because you naturally start thinking about evasion. Same goes for cloud security. It forces you to understand the very infrastructure you might be hired to ethically hack one day. When you learn from a foundation this cross-functional, you aren't just memorizing command lines. You're absorbing how a seasoned pro anticipates threats from every possible angle.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the hacker's foundation, then hands-on practical application, followed by professional workflows and pitfalls, then career building and certifications, and finally, navigating the future.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the hacker's foundation, building the baseline.
The first thing to grasp is what this educational path actually is. It's a professional video curriculum structured as a super focused 30 to 60-minute comprehensive learning path. But the real magic here, and this comes straight from the source, is its total commitment to accessibility. The whole goal is to translate really complex topics into simple, everyday English. Think about dense stuff like kernel-level permissions, manipulating IP routing tables, or setting up hidden cron jobs. That stuff can be a headache, right? Well, whether you're a total beginner or a working pro just trying to patch up some blind spots, this curriculum leans heavily on intuitive visual explanations and clear text format diagrams. It makes sure these concepts actually stick. There's no confusing jargon here, just pure, digestible knowledge that bridges that gap between novice and expert.
The absolute core of this entire lesson revolves around one simple idea: Linux for hackers. Now, you might be wondering, why is a strong theoretical foundation on this specific operating system such a big deal? Well, consider this crazy fact. Virtually all of the top 500 supercomputers in the world, plus the vast majority of all web servers globally, run on Linux. It is absolutely the lifeblood of cybersecurity. It runs the servers, it runs the security appliances, and it powers the offensive tools. You simply cannot defend a network or effectively test one if you don't speak its native language. This curriculum makes totally sure that before you even think about touching some automated exploit tool, you completely understand the theory, the file structure, and the environment you're actually operating in.
Moving right along to Section 2, Hands-on Practical Application, From Theory to Reality.
So, reading about a concept is great, but this material brilliantly shifts you from passive reading to active, hands-on hacking. There's a really vital 4-step progression here. Step 1 is complete theory, making sure you know the what and the why. Then, Step 2 brings in real-world examples, connecting that raw theory to actual scenarios you'd see in a production environment. Step 3 gives you a practical demonstration, where the 20-year veteran literally walks you through the methodology step by step. And then, the absolute pinnacle of the whole thing, Step 4, the live lab. This is where the training wheels come off. Instead of just taking notes, you have to spin up a virtual environment and actively execute techniques, like doing an intricate privilege escalation without a safety net. It's this exact progression that builds genuine muscle memory, proving you can actually execute under pressure, not just guess the right answer on a multiple-choice test.
Okay, Section 3, professional workflows and pitfalls, navigating the real world.
Look, knowing how to type a command is completely different from knowing how to execute it professionally. Industry best practices, security tips, and professional workflows, that's the stuff that separates the amateurs from top-tier SOC analysts and security engineers. It's how the pros operate every single day to stay quiet, efficient, and secure. But honestly, equally important are the common mistakes to avoid. The architect behind this curriculum knows exactly what trips up the new guys. Take a classic rookie mistake, running absolutely every command as root just to bypass permission-denied errors, or maybe leaving default credentials active on a test server. What feels like a harmless little shortcut can quickly turn a simple misconfiguration into a critical vulnerability. This lesson is explicitly built to steer you around those exact landmines, saving you from embarrassing or, totally catastrophic errors on a real-world gig.
Next up is Section 4, Career Building and Certifications, Securing Your Future.
This is arguably the part everyone is waiting for, because it's all about how to translate your raw technical skills into actual career leverage. The curriculum specifically targets certification knowledge, explicitly listing industry heavyweights like the CEH, Security Plus, PNPT, OSCP, and the CISSP. And it's actually really fascinating how these paths diverge. The highly technical offensive nature of the OSCP takes a totally different mindset than the more management-focused CISP. But guess what? A deep understanding of Linux is completely non-negotiable for both of them. Beyond just certs, this lesson prepares you for major career milestones, providing actual interview questions and a comprehensive career roadmap. And hey, if the standard 9-to-5 isn't your thing, it even covers market paths, offering a freelancer perspective and real examples of client projects. It's basically a complete ecosystem designed for career generation, not just learning.
And check this out, the inclusion of real salary information is a massive standout. The source document insists on laying out real-world financial data, and the reason is pretty simple. Transparency about compensation is a huge motivator. Right now, there's an enormous skills gap in cybersecurity, and that scarcity is driving up some serious market premiums. Knowing the exact financial value of the skills you're building gives you incredible leverage to negotiate. Plus, it provides that extra push you need when you're incredibly frustrated because a complex technical concept just isn't clicking.
Finally, we have Section 5, Navigating the Future, Evolving Threats, and Final Assessment.
The cyber landscape changes literally every day, so an educational curriculum is only as good as its forward-looking vision. This blueprint demands a deep dive into AI tools related to Linux and hacking, because AI is fundamentally changing the game for sure. Attackers are using AI right now to automate malicious payloads or spot zero-day vulnerabilities way faster, while defenders are using it to comb through massive Linux log files to spot anomalies at superhuman speeds. By analyzing the latest cyber attacks and the future scope of the industry, this ensures you aren't just catching up to yesterday's standards, but you're actually preparing to counter tomorrow's threats.
So how do you actually prove you've absorbed all this knowledge? Well, the final assessment timeline is rigorous and designed to test your absolute limits. It doesn't just let you watch a video and walk away. Week 1 hits you with a comprehensive summary and homework to lock in those basics. Week 2 tests your raw recall with a 20-question quiz. Week 3 turns up the heat with a mini project forcing you to apply isolated concepts. And then Week 4 culminates in a full project, complete with references. This isn't just a simple test. A full project might mean being handed a deeply vulnerable Linux server and being told to harden it from scratch, documenting your entire methodology. It's the ultimate crucible. If you can make it through this 4-week timeline, you have truly mastered the material.
We've unpacked an incredibly comprehensive roadmap today, designed by a 20-year veteran covering everything from foundational theory and live labs to professional workflows and career scaling. The tools, the best practices, and the career paths are all laid out right in front of you. So the only question left is, are you ready to tackle that 20-question quiz, complete your first full cybersecurity project, and finally stop just reading about cybersecurity and start actually doing it?